PEDs. This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live. Give me 1 second. You want some out of here? All right, I'm gonna take this shit and get another drink.
Hello?
No.
Huh?
No. Is your phone connected to my phone?
It might be. You know what? I think my
Because your stuff popping up as Android, and you know I be trying to text you, but it's green if you want to look.
you know what? When I hooked up Marley's phone, I put my email and stuff in there, cause
No.
cause like all my pictures and stuff like that is all in her phone. My contacts are in her phone.
When you take that out, just create her own email.
Yeah, I her phone ain't carrying them house. Dead.
Yeah, because when you be texting me, like, what you doing and stuff, I be texting back, but it just don't be delivering. And then I just tried to call you, and it said call failed. So that's why I had to star 67 your number. That's why it probably popped up as a no caller ID or something.
It showed your number.
Oh, it did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, because Kurt be doing that. He be calling my number from the star 67, and then he'll put my number in. But when it comes to my phone, it say no caller ID.
Okay, I don't know, but when I get back, get her phone, I'm gonna have to delete all this stuff out of there.
Yeah.
But
What you doing?
headed to Shreveport.
Headed to what?
Headed to Shreveport.
Dang, you coming too?
Who else coming?
Shakira and them?
How you know they coming?
Because she told me. She told me today. She was like, they'll be here around 8. So Papa told me to pick me up when they get here.
Oh, okay. I thought they coming here to Austin.
Yeah. They come to Shreveport tonight, and then they're leaving in the morning to go to Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because everybody from down here headed to Shreveport. Well, I think Uncle April them already down there. And out of them
What
leaving
y'all down here for?
for the, I guess they doing the 4th down there. I didn't know. My job got us off for a week because they doing they billing on to the factory where we work at. So they got us off for 7 days. I don't go back until the 8th. I think I know I go back on the 7th.
Oh, I know you there.
Uh-huh. So I was like, let's vacate.
For a trip.
Yep, and then Marley gone with Darian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a shock for me.
Uh-huh.
You were scared, wasn't it?
I was really happy.
Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. Gonna turn that off. Hey, look at Kurt picking up. Kurt be curb crawling. Wake up, Kurt. Kurt, what the hell's going on? How long were you on the phone? How long were you on the phone?
I don't know, they heard me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Damn.
They're like, what's up, Kurt? What, Kurt, what's going on?
Why you ain't tell me nothing?
I told you. Didn't you see me talking? Okay, I am live. I had to pick up some stuff. This is, of course, you know how I do it. It is a road trip live stream. We got to talk about Deontay, the Bronze Bomber, the promoter, the advisor, the co-advisor, Wilder. Bill Keaveney, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I knew it. He getting snacks, man. That's right, man. I get snacks on the way, you know. What's up, King Kirk? Skrilla 50 in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. MP, what's happening? Listen, we got to talk about Deontay, the Bronze Bomber. Wow. And then today, I thought that I heard it all until Deontay just dropped his exclusive for 78 Sports TV, coming from the LDBC this morning. As, first of all, it was interesting to hear him say about Andy that he is the only reason Andy was signed to Al Heyman. And he is the only reason that Andy Ruiz just got the Joshua jackpot. Remember that fight today? So he's claiming responsibility for something because he says us. He didn't say himself, he said us. So him and Al Heyman, the advisor for the whole PBC community, okay, which means like Sam Rothstein from Casino, you know, basically Al Heyman is Sam Rothstein. If anybody knows anything about Casino, it was with Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Sharon Stone, when Sam Rothstein, which is actually Sam Rosenthal, right, owned Las Vegas. He owned the Tangiers Casino, which he was a mobster, or he was mob tied. Okay, he wasn't a mobster. He was Jewish, but he was mob tied. The mobsters had hired him to run the Tangiers. Meanwhile, from the back end, the mobsters robbed that place blind. Okay, and they had him making sure the casino was ran a certain way because he had expertise in gambling and things of that nature. Okay, so he was the guy for that type of work. Now, Al Heyman is that same guy as far as running promotions. Okay, he did music before boxing and then went into boxing. Okay, so Al Heyman, really smart dude, Harvard grad. You know, he knows his shit as far as business. Okay, that is Al Heyman. Okay, so Al Heyman is technically not the boss of those guys. Well, he's not on paper the boss, but technically he's the boss. Okay, so he tells and he advises, quote unquote, advises everybody what he wants to do. Wilder wants credit for nothing. He went to court to face Fury. Wilder needs a high-profile opponent. 58,000 pay-per-view versus Helenius. 58,000 pay-per-view buys is horrific. That's pathetic. And you supposed to be that guy that allowed Andy Ruiz to fight Anthony Joshua. See, I didn't hear that story. You know the story I heard was Andy begging Eddie Hearn, which is the promoter of Anthony Joshua, as we know, which is the top promoter of and the CEO of Matchroom Boxing, right? He begged him, please, Eddie, give me the opportunity, please. I need it. My wife's pregnant. That's what happened. And Eddie seen him. You know what Eddie thought? Eddie thought, look at this little fat butterball. He looks so fucking cute, don't he? Look, he's a cutie, isn't he? But the little fat Mexican can fight. Let's get him a check. Jarrell Miller fucked up. So first of all, he's saying, oh well, we allowed the Joshua fight, says Wilder. Well, that was after the fact that Jarrell Miller failed 3 drug tests. Well, he failed 1 drug test with 3 different drugs in him. Let me clear that up. Okay, so when Andy Ruiz was begging Eddie Hearn, and then Eddie Hearn called Al Heyman, okay? And he called Al Heyman, and then Al Heyman allowed it. Now he's claiming to say that, hey, you know what? I allowed it because they asked me what they want me to do. And I said, yeah, let him have it. I have never heard that fucking story ever in my life until then. Now, is it true? Well, I honestly don't believe it. I don't personally, because knowing Deontay Wilder, okay, let's put it this way. If it is true, if Wilder did allow, quote unquote, allow, and they did ask Wilder, since he was the only reason that they signed Andy to that roster of the PBC. If that was true, then I guess this is, a reason for Deontay Wilder to, I mean, you know, he's pissed at Andy because Andy won't accept, I guess, 30% or whatever the amount is to his 70%. Some Tyson Fury shit, really. You know, and we're going to go deep into that because I think he got that. But Wilder didn't even mention percentages. Andy Ruiz Sr. is claiming that Al Heyman said that he received a request that Andy accepts 30% of the pot, and of course Wilder gets the 70. Well, if Wilder's getting the 70%, and then Wilder says, well, I didn't even bring up percentages and amounts. My question is, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? It has to be a certain amount. Andy's father, which is the manager of Andy, saying that, you know what? This guy wanted to give us only 30%. We want 50-50. And Malik Scott had a little bit more. He shed a light on the subject. That's why I don't believe it. Because Malik Scott said, well, we're offering Andy $4 to $5 million. You know, hopefully they deliver the big fights. Saudi money has ruined heavyweight boxing this year. No, it ain't. Saudi money ain't ruined shit. It's just people don't really want to fight for that Saudi money. It just shows you how chicken shit people really are. Tyson Fury could have took that money this year. He didn't want to because he didn't want to take an ass whooping from that Ukrainian unified champion because nobody's beat him. He can't have. See, if somebody comes in as just as equal as you, you don't have nothing to, you know, like Joshua, he can always talk about Ruiz beating him. He can always talk about Usyk beating him. Or Wilder, he can always talk about himself beating him. Or anybody else that took a L. He can't say that about Usyk. He has no flaws. He can talk about his gap tooth. Little gappy tooth, ugly little sneaky bastard, right? You know, so he don't have anything to say. He can see small, but everybody's small to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury looks like a fucking polar bear. Tyson Fury is 6'9", 300 pounds. So everybody's small to Tyson Fury. Everybody. So you know you got a guy that's 220 pounds that will box your face off. And I don't think he fights well with smaller fighters. But saying all that to say this, he could have took that Saudi money. Ricky Torre coming in with that cinco. What the hell is this non-title fight on the same side and they can't get it done? Deontay now sends dollar, not Finkel, LOL. Ruiz Sr. now say they only 30. See, if that's the case, see, what Wilder's saying is he's the reason for all this. He has this big ass say-so in that. I don't believe any of that shit for so many reasons. For one, how about this? Why couldn't he ever get the Vladimir Klitschko fight? For two, if he had that type of power and he was that close to Al Heyman like Floyd Money Mayweather, well, what the fuck he need Shelly Finkel for? Three, if he was that close to Al Heyman, what did he need a promoter for? You guys remember Deontay Wilder's promoter? His promoter used to be Lou DiBella. Before Lou DiBella got him a deal of a lifetime, which he turned down. And you know why I believe he turned it down? Because he was told to turn it down. He was told to turn down $100 billion. Now, what fool in their right mind has only made $16 million in 42 fights turn down a deal like that? To fight a guy that you claim that's scared of you. You claim that Anthony Joshua was so scared of you, and then when they offered you a 2-fight deal, actually a 3-fight deal with you for $100 million, you turn it down, talking about loyalty to fucking Showtime. Fuck Showtime. And you know he's saying, oh, well, we don't get paid when we supposed to. We need to talk about that. You need to talk to the guy that you claim that you're equal with. See, Wilder always wants this notoriety and he wants this type of hierarchy, and he wants to be this guy that's known to be so much over someone else, and he's really not. That was the problem. The Anthony Joshua fight didn't happen because Anthony Joshua offered him 12.5. He called them slave wages, and he started talking about fucking slave references like this was 1865, 1933, 1965. He started, you know, he's talking in bullshit like that. But, you know, he's from Alabama, go figure. I mean, you can't get over some shit that happened over a century ago. That's what's up. Anyway, he brought that up. I'm like, so 12.5 million. That's almost more than you've ever made in your whole career. So he got pissed at that. Then they offered him 15, right? He's supposed to agree to 15. And I guess they reread the contract and it had no rematch clause. Because it didn't have a rematch clause in it, he then turned it down. And then him and Shelly Finkel claimed that they never agreed to it, which it had them on tape saying they agreed to it. So I don't know what the fuck's really happening with those guys. But again, if he had that type of relationship with Al Heyman, he didn't need Shelly Finkel, and he didn't need Lou DiBella when Lou DiBella was around. So you're trying to tell me that, oh, I'm the reason that they signed Andy Ruiz to the roster because they called me because he was on the couch. Okay, did you pay that fucking money to Bob Arum? Because you guys know that Andy Ruiz paid out his amount or the rest of his contract back to Top Rank because he was signed with Top Rank. And what happens when you are signed to a company? You have to buy your way out. How do you do that? You got to pay them because you're owed so many fights. The only problem with Top Rank, they wouldn't get him no more fights. Meanwhile, he was broke and he was sleeping on Manny Robles' couch. You know, Deontay Wilder said, well, we called because he was getting the final notice before he got kicked out on home or his own residence or whatever. And then they asked me, well, hey, what you want to do? And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This guy wasn't a champion. You're claiming that you're the sole reason they signed Andy Ruiz. Then why didn't you fight all those other fucking guys? Why didn't you fight them? Usyk holding up the division. Well, Saudi's not holding up the division. I don't know what people's talking about this holding up shit. Deontay Wilder ain't fighting Andy Ruiz in Saudi Arabia. If that was the case, they both would have been paid by now. He ain't signed the skills challenge yet. He ain't signed yet. Usyk signed. That's what's happening. Tyson Fury turned that deal down, and then he turned down the deal with Usyk because of the rematch clause. That's exactly what happened. He did not want that fight because he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for that fight. And I think what scared the cowboy shit out of him was, the L-face shit out of him was, that he took that 30%. And Wilder's claiming I didn't offer him any money. But what the hell is Malik Scott talking about? So if Malik Scott, the trainer of Deontay Wilder, is saying that we offered him $4 to $5 million, and then later on Wilder says we never offered him any dollar amount, who the fuck is lying and who ain't lying? One hand ain't telling or the other hand what's going on. That's what's happening in that situation, because he should have told Malik Scott, hey Malik, hey man, don't say nothing about that, because I'm telling the public that we never offered him to make a point or whatever the fuck it is. See, we got to hear the truth about boxing. We need to hear the truth about that. So when you hear Malik Scott, and I don't take Malik Scott to be a liar. So if they're offering $4 or $5 million, I'd say take it. See, and Team Ruiz, they're not trying to take that fight because more than likely they feel they're going to lose. That's what that is. Any fighter that has a problem with accepting any type of dough, and that's more dough than he's made and seen in a long time, and he's talking about it ain't about the money, but that ain't enough, we want 50-50, you're full of shit. And you don't believe that you're going to win. That's all that really means. But Wilder now is coming up with this wild, tall tale that Andy Ruiz was signed to the PBC because they needed people to fight. Pride versus money said it, man. That's it. They don't want to get that ass whooped for a million. But I mean, if somebody offered me $5 million to fight Anthony Joshua in August, I would be one training motherfucker right now. I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I lose. Because I know I got $5 million. Well, I got 2.5 because they're going to take 40% the US of A. They take half your shit, which don't make sense, but they take half your shit. So I will get 2.5 million. Fucking for 10 million, fucking. Take me out on the stretcher. I'm going to be all right. Psych. I would fight for $10 million if you give me that opportunity. These guys are scared. I don't have to fight again. I got you guys. My channel don't blow the fuck up. I'm fighting AJ. What's up? Every day I'm going to be training, doing something new. Getting ripped, shredded. You're going to think I'm training for a show, a film. They're like, damn, Kirk, you training for a show, a film? Hell no. I'm going to do the biggest stunt I ever fucking did. I'm going to fight AJ. $5 million. Kurt, can you explain who is fighting this year? So, many stories online, it's often difficult to know what is what. Well, all right, I'm gonna tell you who's fighting. All right, Callum Smith is fighting Artur Beterbiev at light heavyweight. All right, Jake Paul is fighting that UFC guy. I can't remember his name right now. Alexander Usyk is fighting Daniel Dubois. Okay. Push the support to just press the like. Yeah, hit the like button. Donate, everybody donate £5. Let's go. £5 for the road. Let's hit it. It's the challenge. And you know what? I want people to outdo each other. That's how I want it. Kurt versus AJ, 50 million winner. Shit. I'm trying to, and AJ, look, I ain't got nothing against AJ, but AJ, I'm gonna try to knock you the fuck out. I'm gonna try to, man, I'm not gonna pull a Charles Martin. I'm not gonna pull a Dominique Brazil. No way. Canelo is fighting Jermell Charlo. Yep, Canelo's fighting Jermell Charlo. Who else? And I don't know if Anthony Joshua is fighting Deontay Wilder, but that fight is a big fight. So you know what? AJ's already fought this year. Wilder has not. You know, Wilder just thinks all I need to do is land a right hand and that's their ass. Okay. Usyk versus Hrgovic in December. Maybe. That could happen because Usyk, you know, he's fighting again this year. So, because I think that's going to be the, well, he signed with Skill Challenge. So, I don't know. I see, because the mandatory, though, is a, is a excuse me is a let me do that is a mandatory, right? So it's a mandatory fight. Monster versus Fulton. Yeah, Inouye. Yeah, Inouye. Yeah, Inouye got injured or something like that. He got injured. So yeah, Joyce versus Zhang, September 23rd. You know. So those are the fights that we have. You know, tomorrow we got Jared Anderson. We got Jared Anderson versus Charles Martin. You know, and the thing is, speaking of Charles Martin, why didn't Deontay Wilder fight Charles Martin? You know, and the craziest thing is, why is Charles Martin really never wanted to fight Deontay. Bud versus Spence, of course. Kurt, I reckon you and Sporting Icons should do a YouTube boxing fight. I reckon you would win. You would smoke them. I know. Look, I like Sporting Icons. Sporting Icons will tell you he is a British channel. He is a guy that supports UK boxing. You know, I support boxing overall. I just think they do it better than the UK simply because it's just different. Like, for one, it's a premier sport. People know, you know, the average person knows more about boxing, okay? The average person knows more about boxing than someone over here. Most people over here know about Conor McGregor and fucking Nate Diaz. That's the name. Diaz is, he's going to fight Jake Paul, right? Jake, yeah. Guys like that, you know what I mean? But boxing, it's not really a boxing sport. You go to the West Coast, maybe the West Coast, the East Coast, Chicago, that's pretty much the hubs of the U.S. Because we don't really have boxing down there like that. Virgil Ortiz versus Stanionis next week. Yep. That's going to be, look, that's going to be a fire fight. That's going to be a barn burner. That's going to be one of those type of fights. You're going to see some fireworks because you got two undefeated guys that got something to prove, but got everything to lose. So, no, that's going to be a good fight. And you know Oscar's going to be there all coked up. Come on, Virgil. Come on. Fuck you, Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, you're a buster bitch. You know what? I bet you Oscar De La Hoya wants to fight Eddie. We already know Leonard Ellerby does. Booty Hole knows. We know Booty Hole knows wants to. Wow, nice schedule of fights and up and coming. Is that the right kind? Okay. Didn't want to make a mistake. Okay. Thunder Productions. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Yeah, man. So I bet you, man, you know what? I predict Oscar De La Hoya, if he has any type of substance in him, drink, coke, something, I think he's going to charge Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, you're a buster bitch. Calm down, Oscar boy. I'm not your boy, you fucking twinker. What's a twinker? Nothing much, bro. Just chilling. Nikki Blue Eyes Austin, good evening from the UK. Counterpunch to you. Carl Young, I remember when boxing was huge in the US in the 90s. We had some great fights back then. Look, man, let me tell you guys something, man. I come up in the 90s. And in the 90s, I really couldn't do much at my house but watch boxing. I would watch a lot of Roy Jones, a lot of Trinidad, a lot of Oscar De La Hoya, a lot of Pernell Whitaker. Terry Norris was in there. You know, I remember like these big nights of the fights that went down, and people have been upset, like Terry Norris and Keith Mullins. Yeah, Winky Wright. I remember when Winky Wright got robbed by Fernando Vargas. Fernando Vargas, man, Fernando fought Winky Wright, Ike Corte. He fought Trinidad, but by the time he fought Trinidad, like Trinidad really showed him who was who. Ricky Torre coming in with another cinco. Funny, only 77,000 pay-per-views, and I guess proceeds from that big whooping, or big whopping pay-per-view number. He's able to send money. It's sad. A Fury Usyk going now. Andy Deontay. Well, honestly, man, I don't know what the big deal is with Wilder. I mean, Wilder got popular taking an ass whooping. The best thing that he gets celebrated for is a loss. That's the best thing he's done. He got knocked out in the 11th round, which was a great fight. Don't get me wrong. The fight overall was probably one of the fights of the year 2021. You know, for your hundreds and thousands in attendance that watched that show, that watched that fight with me, we witnessed a beautiful, spectacular night of boxing. Heart, soul, pride, ego, facade, bravado, all that shit, skill, power, hatred, love, hate. We saw all that combined into one night. And that shit was crazy. I'm surprised I didn't lose my voice, because I mean, it was such a back and forth fight. And a lot of times, you know, Tyson Fury, he did beat Wilder. He did. But then you guys understand, Wilder almost lost all the respect that he gained in one night. How do I mean? Because when Tyson came over to congratulate him after he knocked him out, he was like, no love, no love, no love. I don't respect you, no love. And then, you know, that shit kind of spread quick. So I think what Wilder had to do, let me post something and congratulate Tyson Fury, or people gonna fucking hate me. You know why they're gonna hate him? Because for a year and a half, he talked about Glovegate, him and his minions, him and his Wildettes, right? They talked about Glovegate for a year and a half. St. Don in the building. Wilder doesn't really have anything to offer now. Well, Wilder knows in the heavyweight division, it's only him and a couple others. And the same couple others are the same people that he should have fought. He's fought one, he's lost. There's only one more left, and that's Joshua. Now, he can talk up Usyk. Usyk is kind of the new kid on the block, but ironically, he's older than all of them. He's older than Deontay, right? No, he's the same, you know, he's the same age as Deontay, right? He's 36, 37. Wilder's 37. You know, and Usyk's no spring chicken, because he was in cruiserweight, he was in heavyweight in the amateurs, then he went to cruiserweight, got every belt there, got the Muhammad Ali trophy, then came to heavyweight. Now he's a unified champion, and he's still undefeated to this day. So you got him, but then we don't know how long he's going to really last. But the money fight, he knows, is Joshua. He can't keep fucking around with Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury, for one, has done it already 3 times. And a lot of people now, it's safe to say, dude, Tyson won that first fight. But officially, it was a draw. It was a draw. Officially. You know? If Wilder hit me, I'd probably be asleep. Well, I think if Wilder hit anybody, they would probably be asleep the right way. You know, if you practice on one shot, yeah, we're going 79. If one shot, then you know that one shot can do the deal. You're going to practice that one shot all the time. You think Mike Tyson will ever train someone? Rene Padilla. I don't know, bro. I think he should train. If Oscar Rivas comes back, he should train Oscar. You know, but I don't know. I think Mike has too much going on just being Mike Tyson, to be honest. You know what I mean? Roy Jones trains people, but even Roy though has a lot going on. See, Roy, you know, he goes over to Russia. Roy is all over the place. You know, he's going to all these different functions. You know, and even when he was, what's the kid's name? The Williams kid? Even they were saying that Roy wasn't there most of the time. So Roy's busy. And see, Roy Jones is a legend by his own route. Right. Pensacola in the house, baby. But Mike Tyson, bro, people know Mike Tyson. Fucking Bangladesh. You ask boxing, you say Mike Tyson, they're going to know who the fuck Mike Tyson is. You got Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and who was that other person that they know in boxing? Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. Who? I mean, who else are we really talking about? It depends on what time frame. But those two guys, Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, those are the type of people. Those are the ideal names that you can associate with the sport of boxing. You know, maybe Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd fucked himself because Floyd didn't really fight anywhere. He didn't fight all over the world. He should have. When he was up and coming, he should have fought everywhere. Not just Vegas. He should have fought everywhere. Marciano, Foreman came out with a new movie, but I'm just talking about people that don't know boxing. If you just like boxing fans, sure, we know all of them. Even casuals, you heard of someone, I've heard of that name, but do you know who they are? I'm talking about people that don't know boxing at all. So when you think of a sport, you think of certain fighters. That is Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Canelo is the most famous. I don't know. He's the most famous in Latin America, all the Latin American countries, including Mexico. You know what I mean? But he's the cash cow now. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, Floyd was the cash cow. You don't have to be worldwide to be the cash cow. Floyd proved that. Floyd made money after money on top of money and still making money. That's why his middle name is Money. Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard is one. You know what I mean? So Sugar Ray Leonard, so you got Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and maybe Mike Tyson. You know? So, but like those are those go-to names, those famous engraved names in the sport. Lennox Lewis, best heavyweight of all time. Wales, UK, baby. Cheers, Kurt. Richard Harris, counterpunch to you. Let me tell you about Lennox Lewis. I just did a short on Lennox Lewis. Hope you guys checked it out. Lennox Lewis was probably one of the best boxers, but guess what? He wasn't the best known. He wasn't the most popular. Why? Because Lennox was, he didn't, like, he's not Mike Tyson. Like, some fighters just have that charismatic energy about him. Mike Tyson, the way he talked, the sporadic shit that he does, you don't know what Mike will do. Mike will tell you, I mean, Mike's 56 years old. He just turned 56, right? Mike Tyson might beat somebody up tomorrow. And that shit'll make headlines. But it's Mike. It's like, people know. Because people didn't get the memo in the 90s. They got it now. Don't fuck with Mike Tyson. Because Mike Tyson is not that dude that really, he doesn't go around looking for trouble. He really didn't do that in the 90s. I think Mike Tyson, in his youth, was a whore. He was a whore and he had money. He was a street kid whore that had money. And he was aggressive. I know aggressive guys. They chase women all the time. You know? I don't believe the shit that happened to him. That was wrong. But he got a bad rap because he was convicted of that. And then when people come up and it was always some stupid, you're a rapist, you're a this and you're a that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, well, what do you mean? You know, what are you talking about? And then he would beat him up, you know, and then everybody say he's crazy. But no, you were fucking with Mike. Leave Mike alone. Leave Mike alone. Crawford late stoppage. Yeah, I was watching Crawford today. And it's just Crawford can do too much. And he can do so much more than Errol Spence. Errol Spence is very good at what he does. But he just Crawford, man. You guys, if you see my breakdown of the fight, my prediction video is out there. Check it out. You know, and I break it down, you know. And it's just the hand speed, the reflexes, the skills, the ring IQ, the ring generalship, bro, it's gonna be a fight because see, Errol Spence is not gonna. He hasn't fought anybody like Terrence Crawford. He hasn't, and he's gonna learn that when he gets in there with him. And when he starts getting countered with shots that's coming from different angles that he's not accustomed to, he's gonna do that same shit. When Danny Garcia hit him, kind of looked to the side like he dropped something. No, that's Errol Spence when he's hurt, because he gets hurt so hard he thinks something flew out of his mouth. Boom, he kind of looks and turns. That's Errol Spence. That little turn, yeah, that's not good, because that's what you're gonna see in Terrence Crawford. But it's gonna be hell of a fight though. I gotta see it, because see, this is what I want to see. I want to see a back and forth fight. Who the fuck wants to see one guy that fights another guy that's supposed to be the two badasses, and then one guy goes in and whoops that ass? You know what? What that shows me is, for one, yeah, one is a lot better than the other. But it's a disappointment because it shows that the other guy doesn't have skill. One thing I hate, people, I hate bullies. And when I see a one-sided fight, I think that's my perception of watching a fight. Man, that dude's just bullying him. You know, I get so crunk when it comes to fights, because it's like, I hate to see one guy beat the hell out of another guy. You know, I want to see some type of resistance. If you got two fighters and one guy's just getting whooped, what the fuck are you doing in there? Just throw in the towel, man. Just throw in the towel. That's it. I fought chickens with Roy back in the day. This before they outlawed. Marvelous Marvin Hagler be another. Yeah, Hagler, man, you know, he died, and you know, here's the word around the campfire about Hagler. Marvelous Hagler supposed to took that shot. He's supposed to took that vaccine. And then he died shortly after that. A lot of people don't talk about that shit because they don't want that narrative to get out. But you know, that's what happened to him. Allegedly. Oh, Julio Cesar Chavez, he's another one. Yeah, Lennox Lewis didn't talk trash. St. Dunn, he did, but it just didn't sound right. Lennox Lewis sounded so corny when he talked shit. Lennox Lewis was like this: if he wants to test, I'll put him to rest. I mean, how the fuck does that sound? If he wants to test, I'll put him to rest. Oh, Mike coming in, I'm gonna eat your kids. I'm a vicious, I'm gonna eat your children, bitch. Come see me. Praise be to Allah. I was like, damn, Mike, you know, I'm coming for you, Lennox. I'm coming for you. Yeah, man, that's what you want to see. Man, it hurt my heart. I was hurt for about 2 weeks because Mike got beat by Lennox Lewis. I hated Lennox Lewis because of that. Lennox Lewis don't like me, and that's okay, because I didn't like Lennox anyway. Lennox Lewis probably see me and punch me in the face. Hey, it's cut to Phil. Fucking chump. Fucking chump. Oh, Bud versus Spence is 2 years too late. No, it ain't. They are both undefeated. Look, for people that say that, okay, calm down. Stop. Because, yeah, it would be better. This ain't necessarily a Manny Pacquiao, Floyd, Money Mayweather situation. It's not that. It's not. And I think we're so used to waiting for fights that by the time the fights happen, they lost their appeal, to when we get one like we see now, we got two guys, 133, 135. Bars. They're going to get it on. I don't want to see no Mayweather versus Pacquiao again. No, but see, understand, the fight finally happened. It was a money grab. Floyd made more money. That made his career. Floyd knew. And then see, if Floyd expected to make that money from Manny Pacquiao, if he knew it was going to generate that amount of money, he would have fought him 5 years before. But to be fair, people, to be fair, Floyd was afraid to fight Manny because his father pitched the narrative that Manny was juicing. I mean, have you guys heard that story? Ricky Torre, Kurt, heard Deontay and said Andy Ruiz Jr. left the 4th grade to fight. No, I didn't hear that. But I mean, he was young when he started fighting. You know, Andy, see, it was either this for Andy. His dad used to work, he used to pick fruit. Most Mexicans pick fruit, right? A majority of Mexicans know what it's like. You know, the ones that grew up in the country, you know, one of the things to do was, you know, picking fruit. That's what it is, you know. Farm style jobs, you know, that's what they did. You know, it was a custom. It was tradition. You know what I mean? You know, like other people of color pick cotton, pick peas, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Well, they picked fruit. So it was either pick fruit for Andy Ruiz, fat guy, or box. And Andy was like, fuck, I'll fight. I'm not going to do that shit. It's hot out here, Papa. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm going to get in the gym. He was fat as hell, but he knew. He liked eating jelly donuts and fucking ho-hos and Twinkies and shit like that, but he still knew how to fight. So some people, though, are kind of scary. I had a cousin like that. God bless the dead. He was fat, but he was fast. And you know, most fat people are strong. So, Kurt, you mean throw in the towel like Kenny did for Sean? Even Spence versus Mikey Garcia was completely lopsided. But Mikey had no business fighting Spence. Spence was too big for Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was not a welterweight. He wasn't. Mikey Garcia was not a welterweight. He never was. He should have fought Lomachenko. I don't know how the fuck he didn't do that. That was the stupidest thing ever. See, that could have helped Mikey Garcia, if anything. And it left Vasil Lomachenko without a dancing partner for quite some time. Hagler was my favorite out of Leonard, Hearn, and Duran. Yeah, I liked Hagler. Understand, Sugar Ray Leonard was the equivalent of Oscar De La Hoya. You had Sugar Ray, you had Oscar De La Hoya, and then from Oscar De La Hoya, you had Canelo Alvarez. Those in that order. They didn't beat everyone, they got beat, but they were the ones that were known in that era for those guys that had the kind of squeaky clean image and the endorsements. You know, like Oscar De La Hoya had Wheaties and Puma, and you remember 10-10-3, no, 10-10, was it 10-10, 290? No, 10-10-321. 10-10-321. The little shit back when we used to have payphones, 10-10-321, when you wanted to call long distance. Yeah. So he had shit like that, you know. He had endorsements. Sugar Ray Leonard had endorsements. Canelo, you know, got Tecate and, you know, a couple other things, right? Hanging out with Sly Stallone and company. Hey, Canelo, you know, you want to see, you know. I like it, Dad. I like bought for the Franks. You like Franks? They're going to get so on the grill. You like Franks? Big guys don't talk well because they never needed to in life. Shit, tell that to Muhammad Ali. He talked more shit than the law allowed. Lennox will hit you with a floating rip shot, Kurt. Hell yeah, Lennox Lewis. Yeah, we show you. Hey, Kurt, you don't believe in a floating rip shot. I heard you talk a lot of shit on YouTube. How about getting in the ring with me? Man, I'm not getting in the ring with you for free. That's stupid. You think I'm gonna get all fucked up fucking with Lennox Lewis? You notice Lennox Lewis's nose is kind of like over here? Nah, I ain't gonna be looking like, I ain't gonna have a matching fucked up nose with Lennox Lewis. Once we found out how bad Mike's drug habit was at the time, we kind of glossed over the Lennox thing. Yeah, Mike had a bad coke habit. Man, Mike did an interview one time, man. You know, Mike's one of those guys, man. He's just blessed by grace to be alive because Mike did a lot of, dude, Mike beat up Don King. Mike beat up Don King high off coke. You know, Don pissed him off, started talking shit to him, you know, so. But it was bad. It was bad stuff, man. It was no good. There's no buzz for Bud versus Arrow with casuals. Yeah, I mean, this is a hardcore fight. And most casuals know Errol Spence because most casuals follow certain channels that only, you know, fit to a certain demographic. Casuals not buying the hype for Bud versus Spence. No, I don't believe they are. And they don't really know what they're missing. You know, just like Sergey Derevyanchenko taking on Jaime Munguia. Dude, I think that's the fight of the fucking year right there. That's the fight of the year. Multiple knockdowns, near stoppages, back and forth action, two different styles, one older guy, one younger guy. You know what? The resistance was high in effect. You know, that, look, I lost my voice on that. Manny was juicing, we all know it. Well, here's my thing. I'm not going to say Manny was juicing. I'll say this. I'll say a lot of those boxers was juicing. Shout out to Bruce fucking Vane. Bruce Vane, I talked to Bruce. He said, man, all these motherfuckers are juicing. He said they're juicing because there's too much money at stake for them to lose. So they have to take all the drugs that they can, but they have to cycle off the drugs. That's this viewpoint. I go the more noble route, the more route of integrity. I say no. I say they all don't because we would have caught them all, or would we? But here's the thing: don't we catch enough? How many times? What was the latest person you seen fail a drug test? Conor Benn. Remember Conor Benn? He was the last one. No. Michael Rivera. Remember Michael, the little Ali, the little dude from Dominican Republic? Yeah, I think he got busted. So yeah, people take them. It's a common thing in the sport for boxers to take performance-enhancing drugs. Look, the good thing about anybody, okay, that took that got popped with performance-enhancing drugs, never killed anyone in the ring. I think if it gets to that point, where someone goes and they get tested, they kill somebody in the ring, they severely injure somebody. Chickarelli. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. And somebody ends up taking a fatality. Yeah, I think that's that person that's going to be the sacrificial lamb, because they're going to run his ass up the flagpole for you know what I mean? Because see, at that point, you can't say the drugs helped you kill somebody else. If you get in there and you bust somebody up, knock them out cold, they go into a coma and never wake up and they pass, and then they find out you got drugs in your ass, more than likely you're going to jail. They're going to do you like Louis Resto. You guys remember Louis Resto and Billy Collins? I used to go tatty picking on the school holidays. Kurt, you think Lennox Lewis beats Klitschko in a 2005 rematch? You mean Vitali? No. But see, Lennox Lewis knew that. Lennox Lewis wasn't coming back into the ring again. But to be fair, he did say it was his last fight. It was just his last fight was a hard fucking fight. And then he still acted like a cocksucker because they asked him, like, well, what do you think about the stoppage? Because they had to stop the fight because Vitali's eye was fucked up so bad. And this is what he said. Oh, man, he would have been done. I saved his eye. They saved his eye by stopping the fight. I don't know what you're talking about, Larry. I'm like, man, dude, I do not like you. I do not, Lennox, I do not like you. I do not like you, Lennox. You know, it's just like, he get to this point. He get to this point for a reason, Larry. But I'm not giving him no ring match. He wasn't nothing to me. He wasn't doing nothing to me. I mean, it was a good fight though. Don't get me wrong. Lennox Lewis got, I mean, because it's like Vitalik knew that his eye was fucked up real bad, so he had to fight with a sense of urgency to try to stop Lennox. See, Lennox can be caught on that chin. And I don't know why people talk so much shit about AJ, because AJ, you know, yeah, he went right back in there and got his ass whooped twice back to back. You know, the first time he come up short, he got it back. The second time, he did not. And that's where we're at right now. He did a mediocre performance against Jermaine Franklin, and that's what we got. Andy, next fight brought to you by Snickers. Yeah, he's, man, see, that's what Andy needs. Andy needs, like, he needs shit like Snickers, Ho-Hos, Little Debbie's. When I feel my stomach getting empty or my belly, just bring me up to some nice grape jelly. Push the like button. Please, love and respect to Albert Einstein in boxing, Kurt Facts, Kurt DeVille. Damn, Michael Hernandez. Appreciate it, man. Counterpunch to you. Einstein in boxing. Yeah, that's a new one. Never heard that one. Fun fact, all the height of his career, Sugar Ray Leonard was spending $200,000 per year on coke. Get the fuck out. He was on that shit too. You know. Well, who was he hanging around though? Was he around those? Was he at those Rick James parties? Because if he was hanging around with Rick James and shit like that, and Charlie Murphy and company, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But then again, Roberto Duran, I think he was partying like that too. I did one of those text promos for Oscar versus Mayweather fight. Yep, and that was a close fight, you know. And Oscar should have gave Floyd should have gave Oscar a rematch, and he had a rematch clause, you know, and he didn't. Floyd said nope. So. Gang one in the building from Liverpool. You from old Tony Bellew country. You know, I was thinking, I was like, man, Tony Bellew look a little tan. And then I seen an interview, like, I didn't know he was half black. Because his mom's black, his dad's white. I didn't know that. I just know he was kind of like, damn, he's a real tan dude. Is he, what is he, Italian shit? You know, and he just moved to the UK now. Didn't know that. Love from London. Well, you know, London, you know, he's British. Okay, yeah, he's British. Yeah. You know, Jaime versus Dev is definitely fight of the year. Yeah, Derenchenko's a mother sucker. A little like a bump of coke myself every now and then. Carl Young, you sound like what's his name? Sean Connery. Yeah, I bum a little coke here and there. Yeah, my wife, she gets out of line. I give her a little smack every here and there. She starts talking stupid. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Bruce Vane is a real one. Bruce fucking Vane. Oh, PBC don't test? Say it ain't so. Man, if that's the case, Jesus. That means, you know, Errol Spence came in drunk all the time. But man, about Errol Spence back in 2019, man, I was up in Virginia doing a show. That's when we first started. In 2019, Errol Spence flipped his fucking, no, that was before then. But yeah, he flipped his shit over. He flipped his shit over 7 times. I said, yeah, that man's dead. He's paralyzed. He's fucked up. Man. Klitschko was a bloody mess. Yeah, Klitschko was bad off, man. He was bad off. They're reporting Charlo fighting both Charlos. They're reporting Charlo fighting both Charlos. You mean Canelo fighting both Charlos? Yeah, that would be some cool shit if he fought both Charlos. But that means he would have to meet Jermell somewhere. You know, Canelo should fight Lara again. You know what I mean? Everybody got that one fight that they never revisited that was close or very controversial that they did not want to revisit. Floyd with Oscar and Canelo with Lara. The Roy Jones Jr. impersonation. Yeah, Roy Jones, man. You imagine Roy Jones Jr. doing an anti-drug commercial. Let me tell you something. All I do, I get hoes. I don't fuck with coke. There's no hope in coke, see? That shit'll break you down. It take lead out your pencil. It don't do nothing for you. It breaks you down. Your skin look all nasty. And then you be looking like a crackhead. You lose teeth. You need your teeth. You need to smile at the women. Because that's what I got. I got all my teeth. And I'm a pro fighter. I'm a prize fighter. That's what I do, see? That's what I do. And I take everybody to school. And I whoop them. And I ain't lost a tooth yet. But I don't do no dope. I don't do no dope because there's no hope in dope. So y'all stay away from that. Put some coal in the house, baby. And I'm love all y'all. Y'all be good. And Jared Anderson, you a real one, baby. Jared, man, Roy, man, look, you gotta respect Roy. Because Roy Jones Jr., man, because see, Jared Anderson, man, I don't know if he kind of discerned or just some people, man, just need, listen, black men don't supposed to cry. Black men don't cry. And when they see black men, he's that pussy, look at him, a black guy crying. You know, Latin dude, white guy, oh God, right? But black dudes don't cry. So it took a lot for that man to cry, especially when he had a fucking camera in his face. Now, if there was no cameras and it's kind of like some shit that nobody's supposed to saw, that's one thing. But, you know, the cameras were there. ESPN was there. You know, him and Roy were just talking, and then I guess it needed to happen. And I think that helped Jared. You know, I have more respect for him because, you know, a lot of times people are going through shit that you don't know, and then people just stay quiet and, you know, don't tell you what's on their mind and don't tell you what's going on. You'll never really know. And then sometimes that will explode in something that shouldn't have never been. Had that person just, you know, let people know, you know, express what's happening. And Jared Anderson did that. And he did that to the right person. Roy Jones, you know, mentor, former pound for pound champion, 4 weight classes. Been there, done that, one loss, right? Still winning to this day. And told him, and you know, this 23-year-old kid, I know what it's like to be 23. Being 23 is a lot of pressure on you because you're not a fucking baby. You're not, you're a young adult. You're not a teenager. You're out of the house. Maybe a lot of people depend on you. Shit, at 23, that's a lot of pressure. You know, and Roy's like, look, you can take it because you can. You was meant to take it. You was born to take it. You know, sometimes you don't think you can take it. Sometimes you don't think you can do it, but that's what you can do. You just said, with God, all things are possible, so you already know you can do it, right? Yeah. You already know you can do it, right? Have them pumped up. Well, give me some, baby. Give me some. Jared Anderson probably walked out of there being a little Roy, man. Oh, man. No, Don, I don't hate the fool. I just know he's a coward. If you were right, Don, why has your boy ducked Usyk? Oh shit! You guys in the trenches talking shit about Usyk and Fury. Mike Tyson was fairly close. Now, you know, Mike would have told Jared, you know what? That would probably been another person to tell Jared Anderson some real shit, like some words of inspiration, some words of encouragement, you know? It's like some people, like you imagine Jared couldn't do that to a younger dude. A younger dude that it didn't matter what that other 23-year-old dude did. He couldn't be there. He couldn't say and replace what Roy Jones was able to say, because he's had this spirit of discernment due to experience of being where Jared Anderson was. And I can see Mike. It's okay to cry, because I cry sometimes like a scared woman. I'm afraid like a child, because we're a child of someone. So, I just fucking bring people down to the knees, but I was scared and pain. I was just worried about everything. And I know a lot of pressure. I had my bitch Robin, my wife. I had fucking Don King. Everybody was trying to choke and strangle me. And you know how old I was, Darren? How old were you? I was 23. Oh. So I know. He smoked this weed. No! Don't give Jared any weed, Mike. Don't give him no weed. Don't give him no weed. He smoked this weed to make you feel better. You need some sativa. You need your receptors to be good for Saturday night. No, he's gonna fail a fucking drug test fucking with you. School of 50, I don't like any American heavyweights, but I like Bud Crawford. Damn, St. Don, tell me how you really feel. Shit, tell us. Jared definitely hit a little gas from time to time. I can see that. Anybody heard the odds for Joyce versus to beat Zhang? The odds are against Joyce, because see, we seen Joyce take an ass whooping from Zhang, and it wasn't the fact that Joyce wasn't trying. It wasn't the fact that Joyce wasn't throwing. It was the fact that Zhang countered off that left, being from a southpaw. Dude, yeah, I don't know. The only way I see Joyce beating Zhang is Zhang gets tired and he can no longer throw those punches with authority and with the same punching power. And Joyce is able to actually avoid the left hand, keep his swelling down so they won't stop the fight, and hit him with some effective punches. Because we all know fatigue makes cowards of men. Since they make cowards of men, you try to do something and you're super fucking tired. Try running a mile and you know you haven't ran a mile probably ever, and then somebody tries to fight you. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Rolly is fooling himself if he thinks that he can fight Errol Spence. Rolly just wants a check. And see, Rolly's one of those dudes that are gonna put him in fights because he knows how to sell those fights. You don't have to be Adrian Broner or as charismatic as Adrian Broner or as gifted as Adrian Broner. All you have to do is know how to run your mouth. I got Zhang. Joyce ain't changing. I don't think so either. They asked Joyce yesterday at the press conference. They was like, do you think you can make improvements? He was like, I hope so. You hope so, motherfucker. Are you or are you not? What are you doing? I like Joe Joyce, don't get me wrong, but man, Joe Joyce is looking fucked up, isn't he? That guy has he got a fucked up scar across here, got one over the face. Yeah, you know, he needs to get one of them chicks that love wounds and scars and shit. Some women like that shit. Oh God, where'd you get that? And he got a story to tell. Oh yeah, I got in a ball fight in Liverpool, and a guy hit me with a bottle, and he thought he was gonna take me out. I took the bottle from him and I shoved it up his ass. Later, Kurt going to massage a young girl in Compton, California, Los Angeles. Michael Hernandez. Do what you got to do. Get your massage on and everything else too. Bars. Be careful. Wrap it up, sir. Steve Donner. Yeah, Michael Hernandez said, I gotta go. He like the ladies, man. I gotta bone a lady. Ooh, it's a lady. Oh, do a Errol Spence or Crawford. Hey man, we need to start dropping some super chats in here. We need to start dropping some super chats in this piece. And while Errol Spence has it. Errol Spence has it. And it's some funny shit. Errol Spence, the New York Jamaican, raised in Texas. But anyway, back to Mr. Promoter Wilder. Wilder has, man, I knew, and you know what? You would think Wilder, a person that learned something from that ass whooping, you would think that he didn't, but, you know, I just wonder if there's any truth to that, though. You know, he says he talks to Al Heyman every day. You know, they talk about Al Heyman like Al Heyman, Jesus Christ. I talk to Jesus every day. I talk to Al Heyman every day. What you mean? You can't even get on the phone. You can't talk to Al. Al don't want to talk to you. Yeah. But Andy Ruiz Sr., he was wrong for having those slave references. The coldest thing in Nebraska is Bud, the assassin. Absolutely. I do agree. So they talk about Al like the new Don King. No, Don King, you know, you haven't seen Al Heyman get sued as much as Don King. Don King used to get sued all the time. Felix Trinidad sued him. Muhammad Ali sued him. Mike Tyson sued him. A lot of people sued Ike. Don. Yeah, there you go. And then most of those times, people, when they did go to court with Don King was able to settle out of court. They just take this money, baby. Don't worry about it, baby. No hard feelings, you know. Black is love and love is black, and we are both. So take this money, and I'll take my oath to give you some more money on down the line. So just sign here, and I sign there, and I'm gonna give you your money, and let's get out of here. Get these white folks out of our business, okay? Yeah. In 1998, Felix Trinidad sued Don King for $40 million. That's right. Do you think Ruiz can beat Wilder? If he can catch Wilder, you know, if he can punch him, but Psycho Crusher coming in with that. Cinco! Here you go, brother, for the support of a great channel. Appreciate the love, my brother. Everybody should do what Psycho Crusher can do, but there's only one Psycho Crusher with that wrench, crushing it each and every time he steps into the premises. Appreciate you, brother. Most love. Most love. Appreciate that. But no, I mean, Andy, though, I don't think he punches hard enough. See, I don't know. Is Wilder damaged? Can he catch Wilder like he caught Joshua? You know. But see, keep in mind, somebody like Wilder, you drop Wilder and you knock him down. Now, here's the thing. If Andy ever hits Wilder and hurts him, you know, he's going to hold on. He's going to hold on for dear life. But Andy Ruiz can throw those bombs. You know, I don't think it really matters how tall you are at that point. That's irrelevant. Because if he can catch you and hurt you, you know, Anthony Joshua was 6'6". Deontay Wilder 6'7". Ain't much of a height difference. If he can beat up on Joshua, he can beat up on Wilder. You know, but I don't think Wilder will give him those opportunities. But I could be wrong. And there's nothing wrong with being wrong. That's just my prediction. Fury should have been stopped in the 4th round in Wallin. Maybe the 5th. Because understand the 5th round and the 6th round is when those cuts got a lot bigger. Fury should have, yeah. Andy is desperate for money, and desperate Andy is a dangerous Andy. Listen, Skrilla 50. That's exactly what I said before these negotiations came to a head. I don't think he's that fucking hard up for money if he's letting his dad talk him out of $4 or $5 million. That's just stupid. See, sometimes greed can get you in a situation where you end up with jack shit because you're so greedy. See, Wilder could fight somebody else. Will the referee stop Andy's rabbit punches? No. It depends on what type of referee you got. Maybe Kenny Bayless probably would. Steve Willis would. Because, see, those guys pay attention. You know who I'm disappointed in? Tony Weeks. Tony Weeks really disappointed me as a referee. Saying, why was Vitaly Klitschko stopped versus Lewis? Wilder knows how to fight tall, so I don't see Andy winning. No, he's just gonna fight at a distance, catch his big ass head. He got a head like a 10-pound ham, so shit, you can't miss that head. See, Andy ain't got a neck, so he got to move side to side like this. Steve Willis is my favorite referee. Yeah, he's one of my favorite too. I'm going to do a referee's review on Steve Willis. And then I'm going to do a bad one. I think I should do a bad one next. So, Steve Willis is on that list though. Yeah, man, Andy got a big fucking head this big, like a fucking 300-pound warthog. Shit. Motherfuckers' bones are like this big around and shit. I'm big boned. I'm not fat. What do you explain to your stomach? That's just where I eat. I just eat a lot. Ruiz can take Wilder's best shot. Okay. We'll see. Can he keep taking him? Because, see, to be fair, Luis Ortiz took a lot of right hands from Wilder before he finally went. Mills Lane was my favorite ref. Let's get it on! That's Mills Lane. Mills Lane was the referee of Knockout Kings, the original, back in 1998. Man, I used to love that game. They had Oscar De La Hoya on the front of it. You know, it was heartbreaking though that you had a lot of guys. You had Fernando Vargas, you had Sugar Shane, you had Floyd Mayweather, you had Muhammad Ali, you had Bob Foster. Who else? Ken Norton was there. I don't know if Larry Holmes was there. Rocky Marciano was on that game. So you had a lot. You had a lot. I don't see Ruiz taking a hit from Wilder. I don't either. If you don't fight him, shit, you won't see anything like that. No stretch of the imagination. Let's be honest. Ruiz is the toughest competition behind Fury. This ain't no damn warm-up. Well, Wilder looks at it like that. He might look at it like that because he knows it's not. That's why the fight's not happening. I don't think it's, you know, you got two guys on the same side of the street and you still can't get it done. That's a damn shame. But it means something. If certain fights don't happen, they're not meant to happen. Wilder needs to learn how to jab properly. to beat Ruiz. I mean, Wilder's doing good, man. He's looking really good. So, but the shit he says, man, that look, dude's a fucking narcissist. Yeah, we did that. Meaning we allowed Ruiz to come on to the PBC. Okay. Sure, bud. Thanks, Kurt. I have to retire 2 hours of tennis earlier, and I'm beat. We've been truly counterpunched. MP, Skrilla 50, Armand. Who else we got? St. Don, King Mike Hall, Skrilla 50 in the building. Rosie Donor, Carl Young, Antonio Maps. Everybody, I thank you guys for hanging out with me to talk about the promoter, Deontay Wilder. I'll give you more videos as time permits about this particular promoter slash fighter slash king. Everybody has been counterpunched. Be careful. Peace.